Hello everybody, it's LPS Tiptoe here, and welcome back to another video. Before we get started today, I would just like to say thank you guys for 50,000 subscribers. I honestly am so honored and I'm so grateful that you guys have made this entire experience possible for me, and honestly I'm so happy, and I would just like to say thank you and express my gratitude towards you guys for making this all possible. Now, I did have a special video planned for you guys, which is, spoiler alert, a room tour, but unfortunately I have to wait till my new bed sheets come in before I can film it. Plus I also need to clean up my room, which is a big task, so it might be a little while. It might be after the next video. It's not this video, not the next video, but the video after that I might have it up. So in a couple weeks you will see my room tour. Otherwise, I'm gonna save my big speech and thank you for that video, but I did write a thank you note, more like a thank you letter, to you guys on my community tab on my channel. So if you want, I'll leave the link down below to it and you guys can check it out, because I'm honestly so honored and grateful for you guys, because this is my dream and I'm truly living it, which is awesome. So I just want to say thank you. Okay, back to the video. So, in the LPS community on Instagram and on YouTube, there has always been a discussion about taking videos or pictures with phones versus a camera. Now, I've always used a camera because when I first started YouTube back in 2011, 2013, around that time, the only option I had was to film with a camera, because back then, I know I'm gonna sound really old and it's gonna make me sound just really old and outdated, but when I first started, not everyone had smartphones or even iPods, because that's when everyone first started getting them and they were first starting to become very popular. But when you were younger, because I started my channel pretty young, but when I first started my channel when I was like 11, 13, I didn't have a phone yet or an iPod or anything like that, so my only option was to film with a camera. So therefore I've always have. But of course times have changed and everyone has phones and iPods or iPads that they can film with, or even some people still use cameras. But let's just say for a majority of us, it's easier to film now than it was before, and your options of what to film with have become a lot larger. So today I will be comparing taking pictures with a phone versus a camera to see which one is better. Now obviously the camera might be a bit better because it is a camera. I currently use the Canon Rebel T5i, which is technically a professional camera, so of course the pictures are going to come out a little bit better, but I still wanted to compare the two to show you that you still can take good pictures with just a phone. Again, this is all for fun, just to see the difference between taking pictures with a phone versus a camera, just comparing some stuff. And honestly, whatever you use to take pictures or videos is completely fine. Not everyone can afford a professional camera, not everyone can even afford a phone, and maybe they have to use a lesser quality camera. Whatever you use is fine, and whatever works for you, that's great. So please don't get offended if I prefer one over the other. This is just my opinion. Remember, you are allowed to have your own, and again, this is all for good fun, just to compare the two. Here's what we will be comparing the pictures on. Number one would be quality, so the overall quality of the picture and how it looks. Number two, clarity, how clear is the photo. Number three, lighting, does the lighting matter or does it change when you change what you're taking the pictures with. Number four, focus, so we need to see how well each device can focus on the LPS. And number five, convenience, which one is more convenient over the other. I have a feeling the phone is going to win that one. We will be taking indoor and outdoor photos, so we will take 5 photos from each session and compare them. Now we got that all out of the way, let's get some models. Alright, so we got all of our models. Now I know I have literally 3 dogs here and 2 other animals, but I chose these animals based on their colors. I wanted some neutral brown colors so they all kind of fit into that area, and they all have blue eyes, which I think is nice, and they all go together well. For the phone, I am going to be using my iPhone 8 Plus. And the camera I will be using is my Canon Rebel T5i with the standard lens it comes with. Here is our set for indoor photography. Here is our first model for today, and I think we're going to try using my phone to take pictures first. I have the standard camera app open for the iPhone, and I'm just going to be using regular photo mode. I think it's time to switch. We will start filming with the phone and taking pictures with this camera. Alright, so I'm in manual mode at the moment, so this way I can adjust how much is in focus, the lighting, the shutter speed. This is usually what I use when I take my photos. It's probably my favorite setting. So let's just get started and take some cute photos. Time to move on to our next model, which is this cat. This is actually one of my favorite short hairs. I think she's super adorable and will make for some good photos. So I think that was enough for indoor photography. I will pick the best 5 photos from each device and then we will compare them. But in the meantime, why don't we take some outdoor photos? Alright, so we are currently in my backyard and this is the setup that I have. So I want to take pictures by the small palm tree, so I dragged a chair over here and I have a whole plan going of setting my LPS up and having that nice, palm tree background, and the cool kind of shade it brings right here will make for some interesting patterns in the photo. So we are outside, so please don't get mad if there's like cars or noise or my air conditioner turns on. Nothing I can do out here, it's out of my control. So we're gonna go ahead and take pictures with my phone first. Alright, so now that I've finished taking pictures with my phone, it is time to switch over to using the camera, which is currently what I'm filming with. And I'm honestly really excited because, as you can see here, the background is just so beautiful and the lighting looks so nice. So let's just get started. So I can't film with my phone because it's a bit too difficult outside, so I'm just going to keep recording and take photos at the same time, like right now. And I think it's still recording, so we're just going to use that method instead. Well, I think that concludes the outdoor photo shoot. I think we're going to take everything back inside, take a look at the photos, pick my favorite 5 from each set, and then I will compare them all. Now that we have finished taking the photos, it is time to edit. I will be showing you guys how I get the photos from my camera onto my phone, as well as how I edit pictures that I took on my phone to make it look like they were taken with a camera. Okay, so when editing photos on my phone, first I get all of my photos from my camera onto my phone. And I do that by importing all the photos from my camera onto my computer, and from there I transfer them to my Google Photos account, and from there I put them in an album. And so here are all the photos that basically were my favorites from the camera photo shoot. So we have 5 for the indoor photo shoot with the cat and the horse, and we have 5 for the outdoor photo shoot with the dogs. So here are some of my favorites from the phone photo shoot, and so now I'm going to show you guys how I edit them. So I'm going to start with this photo. So we have just a regular photo, but it's a bit dull and dark, and I don't like how much of the background you can see. So I'm currently using the PixArt app to edit. Here's a little photo of it. Now, this isn't a sponsored video or anything, I'm just showing you guys how I edit. So then I'm just going to go into adjustments and kind of play around. I'm going to brighten up the photo, get rid of some of the contrast. Sometimes you can have too much contrast in a photo, and I didn't like how dark it made it look. I'm going to turn up the saturation on it. I don't usually play with the hue too much, but today I'm going to change it just a tiny bit. Get rid of some of the shadows and add more highlight. Then I'm going to play around with the temperature. Again, it's all up to your own preference on how you want the photo to look. So I'm just doing some slight editing, trial and error basically, of how I want the photo to look. So I think that's pretty good. Now I want to blur the background a little bit so it looks like the camera was just focusing on the LPS. So I'm going to go into effects, I go into blur, just pick regular blur, and then I hit the erase tool, and then I erase around the LPS. It doesn't have to be perfect, so I'm just going to erase around the LPS, and then I'm also going to get a little bit of the floor and a little bit of the door next to her and kind of this area, so that it doesn't look as edited, it looks more natural, like it should be there. So I just kind of unblur that area, and then if you miss the spot and you kind of want to blur it again, like I want to blur that flower pot in the back, you can just get the paintbrush tool and re-blur it. So then once I'm done with that, I hit the check mark. Then I can play around with the settings and how much I want to blur. I don't want that much to be blurred. I'm going to turn up the fade a little bit. And I want it to be kind of natural, so I'm just going to turn it up a little bit. So then it looks like it's supposed to be there. And then I hit apply. So that is just some basic editing that I usually do. Then I like to save the photo. Just save it to my account. I always edit in Visco. That is one of my favorite apps to edit with. As you can see here, I already have the photo imported and edited, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So I'm going to grab the photo that we edited on PixArt, double click on it, and then we start editing. So as you can see here, Visco has a ton of filters. I honestly love their filters. I'm pretty sure most photographers on LPS Instagram use this app, and it's wonderful. So there's a bunch of different things we can do to this photo, and I'm going to use the filter A5. I turn it down to about A5 because I don't like a strong filter that much. Then I just go to here, which is this little thing, I guess. Then I begin to just play around with like exposure. I might want to add a little bit more contrast since we took it away earlier. And then I sharpen it just a little bit. And I just usually play around with here till I get the photo that I want. Turn up shadows, all that fun stuff. So then you just edit the photo how you would want. Doesn't really matter. And then when I'm finished, I just hit save. And boom, it is edited. Now here's a quick tip on how to edit a bunch of photos all at once without having to each individually edit them per se. So let's say that this photo that I imported, I want it to look the same as this photo. So all I do is click these three dots up to the top right. I hit copy edits, click on here, hit the three dots on the bottom right, and hit paste edits. Now the photos have the same exact filter and adjustments to them. This is what I usually do when I upload photos to Instagram, so it all gives them the same sort of theme and they kind of look more put together. That's a bit of an inside look on how I edit my photos. Hopefully this helps you guys as well. Okay, it is finally time to compare photos taken on a phone versus a camera. Here is how we are comparing them and picking a winner. We have 5 main aspects we will be basing our judgment on. For each of these, we will give them points on a scale of 1 to 5, and then we will compare scores to see which one is higher. From there, we will have a winner. The 5 aspects we will be comparing are quality, so how good does the photo look? Clarity, is the photo clear? Lighting, how well is the photo lit? Focus, how easy was it for the device to focus on the LPS? And last but not least, convenience. So how easy was it to take the photo? We are going to be beginning with the indoor photos. Let's take a look at the 5 best photos taken on a phone indoors. And here is the score that they received. Next up for indoor photos, we have camera photos. Here is the score. So it looks like we have a winner, and the winner is camera photos. Now there is a reason why the camera won for indoors. First of all, the lighting was better on the camera because I was able to adjust it to what I wanted it to look like. I wasn't able to do that on the phone. It was just automatic lighting. I can change it a little bit, but not really. The camera had better settings for lighting. It also focused easier. I don't know why, but the phone had a bit of a hard time focusing indoors, and overall I thought the camera photos looked better in general. But I still like the look of the photos taken on my phone. Next up are the outdoor photos. Let's begin with taking a look at the photos taken on my phone. And here is the score that they received. Next up is camera photos. And here is the score that they received. The winner of the outdoor section was the phone. Surprisingly, it was easier to take the photos on my phone than it was with a camera. It was also easier to focus my phone outdoors for some reason. I'm not really sure why that is, so the focus was better, and overall it was just easier to take the photos with my phone. I really enjoyed this. I liked the challenge of taking photos on my phone, as well as editing them, which was completely new to me. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and leave me your opinions down below. I'd love to know them. So, what do you take photos on? Is it a camera? Is it a phone? I would love to know. That kind of rhymed. Anyways, I hope this showed you guys that you can take photos with a phone. You don't need a camera. Again, sometimes people can't afford cameras, and so a phone is sometimes a better option for people. So let's not shame people who use phones, okay? I had a really fun time with this, so if you want to see more videos like this, give me a thumbs up. The subscribe button is also down there, as well as the notification bell icon. You will get a notification every time I post on my community tab, or just post a video in general. Just an FYI, you're going to want to click that so you never miss out. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun with it, and it was something new. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all later.